Daedalus, the Athenian, lived in a tall tower near the Acropolis. He was a great inventor, and his workshop was filled with all sorts of bizarre creations that showcased his skill. The Athenians spoke in awe of the artificer of the Acropolis. Daedalus had created pictures that seemed to move, and a device that could trap the sound and later set it free again. Daedalus did not live alone. His young nephew, Perdix, lived with him as well. His sister, wishing the best for her son, had apprenticed him to Daedalus to learn his wondrous craft. Every so often, the inventor and his nephew would take a walk to the seashore. Perdix would examine the shells upon the beach, while Daedalus watched the horizon.
Uncle, each time we visit the sea, you stare at the horizon. What are you trying to see?
Do you know what lies out over the sea, Perdix?
Other lands. Barbarians?
No, not barbarians, boy. Out there in the sea is the island of Crete. It is ruled by King Minos, the most wealthy king in the world. He lives in a palace made of gold.
What does that have to do with us?
Everything. If you want to invent something truly magnificent, you must have proper funding. The right backer.
But all your inventions.
The inventor turned and looked scornfully at the boy.
They're toys. Worthless.
They make people happy.
Why do you think an inventor invents?
To help others? To make life easier?
The inventor laughed grimly.
That's what I used to think. People are amused by our toys for a while. Perdix, but then they forget. They forget who first created that technology. Then what have you got? Nothing.
Well, then what do you want, Uncle?
To create something that will last forever. To create something that people will remember for generations to come. Something immortal.
Only the gods can do such a thing.
True. They were the first inventors. Just as the name of the gods are stamped on their creation, so will my name be stamped on mine. Then both creation and creator will live forever.
Perdix noticed something while sticking up to the sand. He knelt and pulled it loose. It was the skeleton of a fish. As they walked home, Daedalus brooded while Perdix examined the bones of the fish, turning it over and over and pulling the sharp edges back and forth across his finger. When they reached their home, the sky was almost dark.
Uncle, when will I be allowed to invent?
You? Not yet. You're still a boy.
But I
can't waste materials on your foolish ideas. Now let's go to bed.
When his uncle was fast asleep, Perdix snuck from his pallet and made his way into his uncle's workshop. He had been struck with an idea. He found a thin sheet of bronze, laid it upon the workbench, and taking his uncle's tools, hammer, chisel, and awl, prepared for his task. Before he began, he removed the fish skeleton from his pocket. Perdix spent the night eagerly working on his first invention. Using the fish ribs as his guide, he recreated a similar shape in this metal. When he had finished, he tested its creation, and Perdix pulled the piece of bronze across the tabletop. Its metal teeth dug into the wood, cutting deeper and deeper with each pull.
It works!
He hid his invention and all traces of its construction and fell asleep.
Perdix, if you're not going to pay any attention, there's no point in me demonstrating this for you.
I'm so sorry, Uncle. I'm just so tired.
So you've said for the past few days. What has been keeping you up from sleep?
If I tell you, Uncle, will you promise not to be angry with me?
Why would I be angry with you?
The boy smiled.
Wait here a moment. I'll be right back.
Perdix dashed to his sleeping gym.
Here, Uncle. This is my invention.
Daedalus stared at the piece in disbelief.
What is it?
Well, I call it a saw. It would be much quicker and more accurate than an axe. You see the teeth? They dig into wood. I got the idea when we were on the beach. I saw a fish skeleton, but wait, that's not all. That's not all.
As the boy ran back to his room, Daedalus continued to stare at the saw. Its craftsmanship was absolutely perfect. The boy, the one who had always dismissed as a fool, was, in fact, a genius. Daedalus now held in his hands a perfect invention, brilliant, yet practical. Perdix finally returned. He held a small circular object in his hand now.
This one took me much, much more time. I'm sorry I hid these things from you, Uncle. I was so afraid you'd be angry.
Shaking, Daedalus took the circle from the boy. In its center was a needle. As he turned it in his hands, the needle continued to point in the same direction.
See? It always points north.
The boy moved toward the window and looked out over the sea.
I know you spoke of Crete, Uncle, and the riches there, but there are so many people here who can be helped. That's why I wanted to show you. Inventions should help people, otherwise they're worthless.
Daedalus looked up suddenly, his face a mask of hatred.
What is this brat trying to do anyway? I've given him a home and shelter, and how does he repay me? This was his plan all along, wasn't it? Steal the old man's secret, and then surpass him?
There was the boy silhouetted against the window. The boy who had effortlessly created 2 perfect inventions in the course of a week. Daedalus could not imagine the works such hands could be capable of, the wonders that such a mind could create.
It'd be so easy, wouldn't it? One little push, then these inventions would be mine. What am I saying? They're probably mine anyways. I've been talking in my sleep, and this little thief has been listening. Now he's trying to pass them off as his own. No, you won't get away with it. I've caught you like a bird in a net.
Daedalus was moving forward before he knew it. It would take only one push. He knew the fall from the tower would kill him easily.
Uncle, what are you doing? Uncle!
Perdix was a small boy, so it did not take much force to topple him over the sill. Daedalus leaned out over the window, his eyes greedily waiting for the boy's death. Perdix was spiraling down to the cobblestones below, and as he fell, his arms flapped vainly in the air. In that instant, Daedalus realized the magnitude of his actions.
What have I done?
Yet before the moment of impact, something strange happened. Perdix's white, flapping arms changed, somehow catching the breeze. The boy was no longer falling downward, but flying upward. In fact, he was no longer a boy, but a bird. The bird winged itself away into the distance.
Apprentice! Apprentice! Come back! Forgive me!
The inventor turned from the window and buried his face in his hands.
Daedalus.
Ah!
A tall, elegant woman was standing in the midst of the room. A golden helmet covered her hair.
Is it you, Lady Athena?
Daedalus fell to his face.
I have saved your nephew from death. I've transformed him into a bird that will forever bear his name.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saving him. I was wicked and jealous. So jealous of the boy. I don't know what came over me.
Foolishly, you have wished for fame. Wisdom should be used to better all mankind, not just yourself.
Yes, I have been a fool.
I've come to tell you that one day, fame will come to you. You will design a structure so ingenious that you will be remembered for thousands of years.
The inventor's face filled with happiness.
But your success comes at a price. Even now, the city guards of Athena are heading over to arrest you. Do you think no one would know you pushed the boy from the window? King Aegeus will banish you from the beloved city.
Where must I go?
Across the sea, to the kingdom, Minos, the Bull King. You'll find in him a heart much like your own. You two deserve each other.
But this news seems so hollow now.
Remember, Daedalus, wisdom is only wisdom when used for good.
I will remember.
And with that, the goddess of wisdom left the repentant inventor. To this day, the perdix, or as he is known in other lands, the partridge, builds his nest close to the ground and only flies when it is absolutely necessary. He remembers all too well his great fall from the height of the Acropolis.